the fifth orbital launch attempt by Astra, which is headquartered out in Alameda, California. Following its first launch attempt back in 2020, it achieved orbit for the first time with a launch in November from Kodiak Island in Alaska. This will be the third mission to use this configuration of Astra's family of rockets, this configuration known as Rocket 3.3, and this particular rocket being tail number LVs 0008. This is the first Astra launch from Florida. And again, looking live, or we've been showing live views of Space Launch Complex 46 and Pad 46. This will be the fourth orbital launch from Pad 46 in its history. This launch site is managed by Space Florida, which is an enterprise set up by the state of Florida to attract a commercial launch and space business to the Space Coast and other sites across the state. So this is the fourth orbital launch from this mission, from this launch pad, following a pair of Athena rockets that launched back in 1998 and 1999. That was followed by a launch in 2017 by a Minotaur rocket owned by Orbital ATK, now part of Northrop Grumman, carrying a Defense Department satellite into orbit. Most recently, this launch site was used for the Orion Ascent Abort test back in 2019. That was an atmospheric suborbital test of the Orion crew capsule abort system. This is the first Astra launch of the year, and it's also the seventh orbital launch from Cape Canaveral this year, following 6 previous missions, 5 of those by SpaceX and 1 by United Launch Alliance. Now, T-minus 16 minutes and 20 seconds. The countdown is continuing right now. We haven't heard an update in the last few minutes on this range issue, but the countdown is continuing to tick toward a T0 time of 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or 2030 UTC, in hopes of clearing the range issue in time before that attempt can be made. Just passing T-minus 15 minutes. At T-minus 10 minutes, Astra's launch team, which is based out in Alameda, California, and remotely controlling the countdown, remotely overseeing the countdown, will be polled for a go or no-go to proceed into the terminal count, that terminal count beginning at T-minus 10 minutes. That's the next big milestone in the countdown today. The countdown is now holding at T-minus 15 minutes. So the countdown clock has stopped at T-minus 15 minutes. This means the launch show won't be happening at 3:30 p.m. Again, there's 30 minutes of margin in the countdown, the launch window closing at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. So now 14 minutes left in the window to resume the countdown and still make a launch attempt today. Astra has confirmed that the countdown is indeed holding at T-minus 15 minutes. No update on the reason for this stoppage in the clock. Earlier, Astra officials reported that there was an asset on the Eastern Range, which is the range safety network The countdown clock remains holding. You just heard an update, brief update from Astra's launch team out in California that the countdown, the launch team will continue through some of their pre-launch steps up until the time when they would enter the terminal countdown. That terminal countdown would begin at T-minus 10 minutes, presumably waiting for this issue with the eastern range to potentially clear, although we haven't confirmed that is indeed the reason for this hold. But earlier, Astra officials did report that there was an issue with an asset on the eastern range. The eastern range is run by the U.S. Space Force and Space Launch Delta 45 here at Cape Canaveral Space Force Station, overseeing tracking and range safety infrastructure used for all rocket launches that take off from the Florida Space Coast. Meanwhile, there's been no reports of any technical issues with Astra's launch vehicle on the countdown. Weather conditions also remain observed green at this time. There is a rain shower passing a little to the north of the launch site at this time, but not expected to pass directly over the pad. So weather remains not ideal for launch viewing, but green for launch. So the only issue that we're aware of right now is this range safety asset issue being worked by the Eastern Range. Again, you're looking live at Space Launch Complex 46, where Astra's Rocket 3.3 vehicle is standing 43 feet tall. And Astra has confirmed that the launch will be scrubbed for the day. The launch of Astra's Rocket 3.3 vehicle from Cape Canaveral will not occur today due to a range safety asset being unavailable for launch.